back. It's been a little bit. We haven't been on for a while.
Couple of weeks, April 19th to be exact.
Yes.
Had a lot going on, and we have a very special man today.
Very special man. Very special, very popular,
Yes.
very fit, very handsome.
Very salsa dancerish. Without further ado, Mr. Walter Johnson.
Yo, what's up? Hey, what's up, lady? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good to see your faces as always.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to everybody today. I know how busy you are traveling the world and saving the world.
Yeah, all that, Zordon does call upon us from time to time.
Yes, he does.
I said in the beginning, trying to be funny, I said, Mr. Walter Johnson. And you were like, I said Jones. And then I was like, I'm kidding, Jones. He's like, Walter.
Oh, what's up, the kid, Maurice?
19th.
Yes.
Once and always.
Once and always. It makes sense, right?
Yes. We have several questions from our channel members. We'll ask those first.
Okay.
And then Kat has some questions for you. And so I wrote down the questions. So one of them comes from Scott Bicklicky, one of our channel members. He said he misses you in England. He lives in England. And he said you met his kids and they call you Zach Man. And he said it meant so much for him to meet you and Steve. You were the two first Rangers that he met.
Okay.
And he wants you to come back there.
I want to come back too. I need to come back to England. I need some more of that love, some of that rain.
Yeah. I haven't been back there too.
It's fun here. I like it.
Oh, here's his question. How was it working with Steve and Catherine for the first time?
Be nice.
You know what? It was actually very, very cool. It was eye-opening because I've known Steve and I've known Kat for quite some years. But we never worked together. And so for us to be working together for the first time in Rangers, because we almost worked together on The Order.
Yes.
Time ago, right? It almost happened. But now here we are, we're working together. It's interesting because knowing Kat and knowing Steve, but not knowing their characters, it was interesting to see the difference or the similarities on set. So I was like, oh, that's who you are. Oh, that's who you are. Okay, I got you. Who we are in the Ranger world is different,
Yes. It was cool for us. It was very nostalgic. But it was really cool to see, like, as your friend, after knowing, like, it's been 30 years since you've been on the show, it was really cool to get you, to see you shine like that. I just thought you did such an amazing job, and it was really fun to see you come back.
Thank you. I was happy to have you there and to be part of this whole experience with you and Steve and Karen and Johnny. It was like, that was very cool for me to be sharing this with my Ranger family, and especially, to be with, Davey Yost, Mr. Old School himself, like to be there with him because we actually started it 30 years ago, and we saw it from the very beginning, from the audition process to it's 30 years.
I know.
30 years. I mean, like, I haven't been on the show in 28 years, and when you think about 28 is you graduated high school, you went to college, you got out of college, you got a job, you got married, you had a kid, and now you're 28. It's been that long. It's crazy. It's a whole lot. That's a lot of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You were kids. You were like young kids. Like, so much has happened since that time. Like, that's crazy.
And the crazy part is I'm still 29. I don't know how that happened.
It's amazing how we just don't age.
So I was gonna say that though, Walter, and I would not lie. Kat knows me. Like, something just doesn't look right, I'd be like, well, you might think that person's cute, but I don't. You look so amazing. I think personally, you look better now than you did on the show. Seriously.
I've heard that, which is interesting. I think maybe because I'm more of a mature person. I got a little goatee, a little gentle.
No, I feel the same way because I look at myself on the show and I look at myself now and I was like, what was going on?
Right.
I also think that a lot of it had to do with, not knowing, makeup and hair didn't quite know what to do with African American people on their set. Karen's talked about that. The makeup, I remember sometimes I looked like you could only see me if you smiled in the dark, like the
Right.
makeup that dark
Why
on
you
me.
put me in charcoal? What is that? It's like, are you making me darker instead of lighter? I don't know what's
No,
going
they
on.
used makeup on you once, Kia, and I think they ended up changing the brand, but it was kind of gray. It was like a gray color. It was weird.
Yeah.
I remember you saying like, this isn't even my skin tone. What's going on?
It was pretty
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, we dealt with a lot of that with them not really knowing how to do makeup and hair for people of our color and our complexion, which is unfortunate. But we made it work. Like I was fortunate not to really need makeup. It was like we started with makeup, and then I was like, you know what? Just give me powder. I don't need just so I don't when I sweat, I don't I'm not flashy or glossy, but. I didn't really need a lot of stuff for like to cover up anything. I just needed you to, powder me down. That was it.
Yeah.
Again, it was sometimes they were adding one powder to the next powder to try to find which color is the right color. It's unfortunate, but.
And you had short hair, so you didn't really have to worry about the hair issue.
Oh, I
Karen braided. Yeah.
With a shade down on the sides, and I generally did my own hair.
Yeah,
I would it myself because they didn't know how to do it on set. Yeah, so
it seems so crazy to me. Like, get it together, people.
Well, you know what? At that time in '93, we were one of the only shows that had diversity like that. It was like one of the first TV shows that had people of different colors as friends, and and the same kind of in the same caliber.
There's African American shows, and they must have had good makeup artists. I mean,
well, that's for African American shows, so you had a budget for all African Americans as compared to all Caucasian and one African American. So
right.
You don't hire a whole different makeup artist, a whole different hairstylist.
Got you.
You somebody that has the overall experience, and a lot of people don't.
Right. Well, get it together, makeup artists out there. Figure it out.
We're doing better though. We're back. We're in it these days. They've had a lot of time to figure it out, but since that was 30 years ago. So
right.
But speaking from a woman's perspective on set,
yes,
there's still some figuring out to do.
There is.
Figuring out to do, but we're going to get on to the next question. All right, Kenny, one of our channel members, he said he missed you in Iowa. He hopes to see you in Iowa soon. What kind of input did you give for your character development for Once and Always? Were you able to give some input?
I was able to if there was something that I read in the script and I was like, no, Zach wouldn't do that. He would step forward in this place, or he would have a feeling about something. Like, for instance, in the scene where we're all together in the command center, we were all standing, and we were standing on two different sides. You had Johnny and Karen that were about to leave, and the rest of us four on the other side. And the director said, well, how do you feel about it? And I was like, Zach I would connect. I wouldn't just stand on the side and be like, all right, deuces, thanks for coming. I'll see y'all. I was like, I would come in and so I went over and I hugged Karen Ashley, and I gave Johnny Ambasha a hug. And I thought that was important for the characters as well, because it's the first time you've seen Johnny and Adam and Zach together. And it's been 28 years, and how do they feel about each other? And it was like, there would be love. There would be bro, mutual respect. And so I thought Zach definitely needed to show that.
Yeah, I liked that you did that because it felt very separate, and you crossed the line over there. It was good. Yeah. Same with Karen and Min when they had that connection. That was really nice too.
It's important because what people need to see is that we are a family, regardless of when you were in the cast or when you joined the team. We're still a team. It's like there's a hierarchy in a way, because there's where it all began. But in 30 years, we've got lots of branches. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that you said that, Walter. And I didn't even think about that either. You brought up that point. You two were the only two on screen actually who gave each other. You gave, he took over for you, and you guys actually shared the screen together. I haven't seen
Yeah.
that before.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn amazing. And the fact that you acknowledge, even as the original, that yes, you guys originated this, but you've paid homage to the series and the
Yeah.
30 years plus of other Rangers. And
Yes.
I just have to thank you for that, because often sometimes people get lost with saying, I originated it and doesn't matter about anybody else, I'm the one. But the franchises continue to go on. You guys
Yeah.
definitely made a staple, definitely helped create what is now so huge. But I thank you for acknowledging all of those that have come after you as well.
Yes. I mean, it's continued because there have been continuously great talent and people and personalities that have catered to the brand and brought, and maintained the fans, and made the fans want to keep watching. And, it's been 30 years because it's been 30 years. It's like, even if there's been like 22 or 23 different casts, the fact that it's, when I do Comic Cons and I see all these people, I meet all these other actors, my peers that are on shows that I currently watch, and I'm like, man, like Walking Dead or whatever else, Cobra Kai, and I see these actors that are new but popular right now, and they have their long lines. Well, when I'm there, my show came out 30 years ago, and there's something to be said for that, because although you're on a show currently and you're the hot thing, I was a hot thing 30 years ago and continue to be a hot thing. So
Yeah.
it's something to be said for that. It's like,
Yeah, it's so true. Like, you look at Star Trek, like that show has been going. It's still like, the fact that he's in his 90s and William Shatner still has lines of people that want to meet him for that role, and he's gone on to do amazing things. He's
lots of
done a
things.
ton
Yeah.
of stuff. As of You, as is Nikita, like so many of the Ranger family has gone on to do amazing things too. But it always comes back to Power Rangers. They, you were on the Shield. You were on. I mean, you've done millions of things. They want to talk to you about the
Yeah, exactly. It's
yeah.
like every now and then somebody goes, so what about this though? I'm a big fan of that too. And I'm like, that's cool. But you're the Ranger though.
Yeah.
Like, I loved you on the Shield. I loved you on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but you're the Ranger,
Yeah. You're the original Black Ranger.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
It's
Crazy.
a staple that I'm proud of carrying. I mean, I know some people are kind of like, I don't want to be labeled as one thing, but the fact that this show has made such a difference overall in the world in a positive way is amazing. The fact that it's this 30 years ago, the show was the #1 hit show, and there were kids that came up to us and were like, "Oh my God, I'm a big fan!" And the Power Rangers, oh my God, they're going crazy, right? And then 5 years later, those kids that were 4 were now 9, and they were still watching the show with their cousins and their friends and their little cousins that were still watching the show. And then move forward to 20 years later, and they're 29 and they're 30, and they are having families, and they're coming up to me now and they're like, bro, I met you when I was 4. I'm 29 now. I got a 4-year-old myself. We watched the show together, and let me tell you what you did for my life. This is how you inspired me. This is what I went through. I went through this turbulent time, but because of you, I was able to get past it. And that is something that's very different from just being a guy you saw on the show last year. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. That's so true. Yeah.
2 last questions from our channel members. David said, what did it feel like to come back to the show after 30 years?
It was very surreal. All of it. To one thing, because the show has been such a popular show and it's been around, it's like being Zach never really truly left me. Because when I'm in the grocery store and somebody's going ding, 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 and I turn around, they're like, Zach, right? So I've had Zach with me everywhere I went in all parts of the world. Zach has always been something I've been associated to. It's the name that I answer to almost as much as my own name. So it's not like I was so far from it. Although I've done many other things since I did that, it was kind of easy to go back and be Zach 30 years later because I am Walter, who was Zach 30 years later. You know what I mean? Like that, and especially my relationship with Billy, because Zach and Billy are friends and have been friends. Well, back in the day when we did Power Rangers, we were friends, and now we're 30 years older as men, and as Zach and Billy as men with different responsibilities, with different things, that lessons that we learned through life, and we carry that with us, and it comes along in our character. So even in our relationship, the way that David Yost would talk to me back 30 years ago is different from the way that he talked to me now as a man. And same thing for me. And we have respect for one another. So I think that comes across, but we both have definitive ideas about who we are, and we know who we are. So it's not about like, you can't tell me who to be because I'm a grown ass man. I'm going to be me, but I understand your perspective. You know, like that kind of thing was brought to the character, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Last question, and then I'll turn it over to Kat with her questions. What did you think about the special? John wanted to know, one of our channel members. What did you overall think about the special?
Well, John, I thought that it was like dessert. It was a dessert of nostalgia for anybody that was truly a fan of Power Rangers, because it was the first time that you had some OGs come back with really truly a great story, and a story in which we paid homage to one of our fallen fallen partners like Thuy Trang, which was long overdue. We didn't really talk about it back in the day. Social media wasn't as prevalent then, and you guys were still kids, so it wasn't subject that we would say, okay, so let's talk about this. Let's have a real conversation about it. But now you guys are mostly adults, and you remember her fondly, and you wish she was here, and we wish she was here. And then to be able to pay tribute to her together, all together, with new family, old family, everybody together. I think that was amazing. And then, with the tragedy of Jason Frank happening, it was also a perfect time for us to also pay tribute to him. And it all just kind of, I don't know, it's unlike anything else that's ever been done. And so I was really proud and happy to be part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I have a couple of questions. I actually haven't asked you this, but I was very curious about.
Yeah.
You obviously read, I read a couple of the later, as the script was a little bit more evolved when Jason was still possibly going to be a part of it and stuff. But how did the script change from the original script to what we ended up with in New Zealand? And second part to the question, what did you think about their choice to make Zach a congressman?
You had to do something, right? It started, I think it started a little scattered. They weren't sure what the story was going to be. They weren't sure how to give prominence to each character, or in what division you did that, and so forth and so on. Jason Frank's role was never extreme within it. It was actually kind of peculiar because it was a little distant within it. Like he was there, but he was not really there. And
yeah.
But I think that was just because he was very involved with his own project that he was excited about. And, when he was no longer going to be part of it, then they were able to kind of like focus more on the story about Min and David and I, and really give it to Thuy. And David had a lot of input in tweaking, as did I. But David is a lot more particular than I am. So David would say, I don't like this part. And we talk about it, and I go, I agree. It could go better. What if they went, maybe we should add, or maybe this doesn't work for the continuity of who we are as characters and who we've been and what we would do and what would our choice really be. And so thankfully they were open enough to listen to things that we had to say in regard to we don't know if this feels right. If it would be better if it was more like this, or you know, um, making small changes. At the end, I was pretty happy with the script that we had. Like, I think
Mm.
I love the fact that there were earnest moments, that there were theatrical moments, that there were. Um, it gave us room to play as actors, as real actors, as compared to just throwing out a cute quip here every now and then, something like kind of funny, but whatever. I love the fact that there was a lot more heart to the script.
Yeah,
At the end,
me
and
too.
and uh, and that we were able to make it work. It wasn't um, for me. It kind of felt like when we were on the series, and there would be an episode in every series. There's every story within the series. It focuses on different rangers at a time. Like, we're all still a team. We're all still working together, but the focus and the lesson is coming from two or three other rangers within that series, or within that episode. So I felt like it was definitely positive for me, being somebody that was absent for 28 years, and that was absent from the show in a way that was shocking. Like, I didn't get. I didn't get any closure. I didn't get a goodbye. I didn't get a, all right, thank you for your hard work. We are glad you created this. It was like, I left, we were negotiating, and it just ended. I never got to come back, and I never had closure. So to now come back and be part of this story and have it be important, have it be uh, what's the word I'm looking for? To have it be something that wasn't trivial, I think was important for me, for my character.
Mm.
And
You had relevance. You had relevance.
Relevance and depth. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it wasn't like I'm taking off the helmet and here I am, ha
Yeah.
ha. Black, Zach is back in black, right? And so if
Right.
that would have been my only line, right? Had it been done a different way, if it was like, if it was primarily about the new cast and I was joining in and I had a one line or two, that would have not been enough for me to want to go back, because
Yeah.
you needed to know where Zach has been. You needed to know what's been going on with him. The congressman angle, I appreciated it, as it said, that I was still giving of my attention to the public, like wanting to be helpful
Yeah.
and guide people along their way, like try to make things better. I appreciated that about my character, although I really like the way my character has grown with Boom Comics, like becoming an intergalactic ranger, with the Omega.
Mm.
So I think something like that would have been more interesting,
Mm.
but it's also still a possibility. So who knows?
Right. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
It was really lovely to see, just it was lovely to see the executives and the writers and the producers and everyone have so much respect and wanting to really honor the show,
yeah,
and respect you and David coming back. I mean, they, as us too, but I think that they really wanted to give you a different experience because you hadn't had that, and they wanted to have your character have his moment.
yeah.
And I think you and Min, the storyline with you and Min was just so lovely and warm and tender. And there was some parts that I wish they'd left in that they didn't show, but obviously we filmed a lot. They couldn't put everything in. But how did you enjoy working with Charlie?
She was awesome. She was very cute, super hardworking, talented, a physical beast in regard to the things she's able to do physically. Very impressed, and then emotionally as well. I felt like she had a pretty decent grasp on most of the things she needed to convey.
Yeah.
I was also she's also a little. She was also open. She wasn't stuck in, this is the way it's going to be. She allowed me to affect her, which what you want with the actor and actress. We had that scene in the command center where I'm talking to her about not seeking vengeance, and um, uh, being giving of yourself in situations, and there's a one line where she goes, "Was it worth it for you to give up your own, your own things for
Yeah.
me?" And I said, "It's absolutely worth it." We kind of connect heads. I I have a 15-year-old daughter, so I have kids, and she's not my child. So, and I'm a grown up man, and her being not comfortable with me is not something that just happens. You don't automatically have chemistry. You have to earn it, and we
Mhm.
found our way in there to find that chemistry. And that moment was interesting to me because she was resistant. She was as she should be. She was a teenager with angst and going through something and being fussed at by her guardian. But then for her to allow herself to be pulled in and to have that connection with me, I thought was just a very special.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I actually I found that about her too. I found her very like she calls you guys uncles and us
Yeah,
aunties. She felt like I think she felt very safe with us, and you saw her through the process of filming. She opened up more and more, and she really wanted to be close to you and David. It was very important to her.
yeah,
And it showed. I think it showed on the screen that
I
she
agree.
felt safe.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I
I
was very
think
happy with her.
overall, I thought I really enjoyed it. You were saying before we get to super chats, and this time has just flown. Goodness gracious. Um, you were talking about Twee's death kind of being overshadowed. Like we didn't have social media, but it was also a week away from 9/11.
Yeah,
So her passing, people knew about it, but then 9/11 happened and then the whole world changed. And
yeah,
so I loved the fact that, as you brought up, that this truly gave homage to her, long overdue homage to her. And that I truly, truly appreciate it.
yeah.
Mm.
Are we ready to get to some super chats?
Let's go with the super chat. Hey, let's go with the super chat.
Yes, I feel like we should just do one big super chat, and then Alex can lead us with that. So we do super chat, raise them up high. But one of our channel members was like, I want to see Walter do it, like
Hip hop keto style.
Today is
So
the
super chat,
the
raise them
super
up
chat.
high.
All right, Walter.
Yeah. Raise it up high. Super
Ooh.
Ah, he said.
chat. Raise it up high.
All right, Alex.
I don't know what I just did. I can't re-imitate it. I was like, hey.
I like
Well, guess what, Walter? That will live in infamy for the rest of history on the internet. 300 years from now, people will look at that and say, "That's how we danced."
it'll be like that scene in Can't Buy Me Love where there'll be a whole new dance style.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. So we got a bunch of questions here that I'll run through here for you. And as always, a pleasure to be able to do this here with you guys. The first one coming in from Lentz. He says, "Hi, ladies and Walter. Walter, I'm looking to meet you at the Tampa Bay Comic-Con this year." It's not a question; it's more of a, "Hey, this is what we're doing."
Whoop whoop. Thank you.
The next one coming up here is from Steven McKennica. "Hi, Kat, Nakia, and Walter. Hope you're all doing well. Walter, congratulations on once and always. What was it like putting on the Black Ranger suit for the first time in 30 years?
Okay.
Okay.
One, it wasn't the first time. I did a show called Boomerang where I played the Black Ranger. It was a dream sequence. He was this guy, he passes out, he goes to heaven, he wants to see God, and I am God's gatekeeper. I was wearing the Black Ranger costume, carrying my helmet. So I did a show like that maybe 3 years ago with BET, and it was the first time then that I wore the suit again. But this was the first time that I was wearing the suit and actually in action as a Power Ranger. So it was kind of interesting to go back because one, I'm not as svelte as I used to be. I mean, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right, but not everything is like, I got little, pockets of things here and there. So I was a little intimidated by that, but the costumes look good, and with my hard work I put in to lose some weight and get in shape, I felt pretty good. Felt pretty good about it. I was excited at the fact that I was physically capable to do most of the things that I would have been able to do before, which is a large task considering the fact that I'm much older at this point. So, but it was cool.
I was telling Nakia that about when you did that scene, and you were like, it was like an adrenaline rush. He just like did it, and then he was like, "How did I do that?" And then Walter was so smart because he had like, you know, his rollers and he's got like all his stuff to help stretch him and everything, which nobody else thought to do. But yeah, it's very impressive, Walt.
Yeah, no, I had my ice packs and I had my knee braces and everything else, but I was also challenging myself to do something that I just didn't even practice doing for quite some time. But I wasn't surprised that I could do it. I was surprised that that it didn't hurt as bad as I thought it was going to hurt.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
That back that I did was like, that was intimidating because I haven't done a back flip onto something solid in probably 25 years, maybe 20. Maybe I would say at least 20 years, years. Well, I just haven't done it. I haven't needed to. So to pull that out and do it, and then do it a couple of times. I remember the director, he had me do it 3 times. And after the 3rd time, I looked at the screen and I watched it, and that was when they showed it in slow motion. And I was like, that looks good. I was like, all right. And it's like, you want to do one more time? I was like, no, you got it. We don't need to do that anymore. It's good.
No, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. We don't need to take any chances. So it's all good.
Awesome.
Brent Pham wants to know, when did you start filming Power Rangers Once and Always, and when did you finish filming it?
I believe we started in September. Right, about September 9th.
You guys went a week. I went a little bit later. You guys were there a couple of weeks before me, I think.
Yeah, it was a month. I think it started in September, maybe September 14th or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
I
was back in time for Halloween.
Yeah, we went right after Power Morphicon. It wasn't long after that.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool. So secretive. Chad Wilson wants to know, I'm so excited to meet Walter in Chattanooga this Saturday. Walter, do you remember the last day on set in '94? Did you know it was your last day?
I remember the last day. I did not know that it was my last day. My contract was ending, but we were still working. So I think our contract ended at noon, and we were renegotiating our contract. So at noon, we packed our stuff, got in our cars, and drove away. And they're like, where are you going? I was like, our contract's over. We have to renegotiate. So we were all supposed to go and do that, but that didn't happen. So 3 stayed, three left. We started renegotiating the contract, and then they decided, well, you know what? We'll just pay the other ones extra to stay, and we'll get 3 new actors, and that's what they did. So we weren't expecting to leave. We were expecting to renegotiate and then, make everything better. So it was better for everyone. But at the end of the day, that's not what happened.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It was funny because as a kid, you look at the shots that they used for you guys leaving and giving your powers over. And it's all back shots of, and these fake shots of you guys in the command center. I was like, something's off here.
Yeah, I guess my hair changed a couple of times because we were in the 2nd season. I had long hair, but they were using old footage with the short hair, and then I had braids, and I was like, what's going on?
I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. It goes back and forth. I was like, I'm young, but I'm not dumb. The 7th Ranger wants to know, hey, Walter, what was your favorite JDF memory, and do you remember the first time you met him?
I do remember the first time I met him. We were on the set. We were already filming. We shot maybe 7 or 8 weeks before he joined us. And then when he came in, it was like, well, who's this guy? Like, what is he? What's going on? Like, who's that? And he came in, they're like, he's going to be new Ranger. He's the Japanese footage. He's like the Green Ranger. He comes, he goes there's only just so much Japanese footage. So we didn't know he was going to be a permanent fixture to the team. Originally, he was just a 6th Ranger, but he came in and he shined so well. And his story was so great that, they were like, okay, well, and then we also left. So at that point, we started renegotiating for a better contract. they needed somebody to be the White Ranger. They said, we'll make him the White Ranger. So he ended up becoming like the new lead after Austin, myself, and Twee had left. So, but when I first saw him, I recall seeing him walk in and he started practicing his martial arts and he was doing that spinning triple kick. And I was like, that was good. I want to do that. I was like, I want to do that because I knew I could do it. I was capable of doing the same thing. But I was like, I never even tried to do it 3 times. Let me try that. And I could do it, but I didn't want to bite. So I was like, it's not like something that I would do. I let that be his thing, you know?
You all had your style. Like, I think all of the Rangers had their thing. Like, yours was Peter. He had that kick.
Yeah.
Kimberly had her flips. You know, like, it was all, they all had their different things.
Yeah. But I just knew that was impressive because it's like the jump ability to be able to do that triple, you know, that whole thing, jump spinning. So it was cool.
Yeah, he was talented. I thought he helped. He's told the story that he helped Twee with her kata for her audition. So he was there when in the original audition process, and they had him.
Not the original audition process.
Really interesting.
Yeah, we did the pilot, the initial audition process.
Oh, because that was Audrey. Yes.
And then once we got picked up, then I think we did the pilot, and then they wanted to redo the pilot, but Audrey asked for more money, so then they had, I guess, to re-audition for the upcoming Green Ranger and the Yellow Ranger.
Yellow Ranger.
No, right. So then I guess that's where they met.
Okay, got it.
Hey guys, just want to make this announcement real quick. We only have Walter for another 20 minutes. I still see, as I just said that, another super chat had come through. We're not going to be able to get through all of these super chats. So please, we thank you so much for sending in these super chats, but just know that we are not going to be able to get to all of them. We want to honor him and his time. So we're going to get to as many as we possibly can, but please, no more sending your super chats if you want them to come through, because they're not in, and another one just came through again. I'm just telling you, we're not going to be able to get to all of them, although we appreciate you so much.
Yes, thank you for all of your support.
Yeah. So the next one is from the 7th Ranger again. Hey, Walter, is it true that you voiced the character on Lost Galaxy? And did you meet any of the Lost Galaxy cast?
I have met some of the Lost Galaxy cast. I don't really know which ones they are, but I've met them. I did do a voice on that. I also did a voice in Forever Red.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think it was just like Forever Red. They contacted me and said, hey, they're doing a special episode with the Red Rangers. Obviously, you're not a Red Ranger, but we'd like to see if you want to be part of it. Would you like to do a character voice? And I was like, sure. So,
which one were you? Because I did a voice in Forever Red too.
I was Garrick. I think that's the name of the
Garrick. Oh yeah, I was Tesla. I think, weren't they together?
I don't know. I don't think I've seen it.
But he was a bad guy. Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I don't know anything about it other than my character was Tesla.
Very nice.
You were Tesla?
Tesla.
Yeah, that's Tesla.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fast.
Yes, I'm fast. Shifted to turbo.
The next one is from Red Buick. Hey, OG, you guys all did an incredible job. You still got it. When you busted out the hip hop keto and backflip, people went nuts. Zach, don't crack. All right, that's more of a saying.
I love it.
More Phenomenal Photography says, hi, Walter. I remember watching Happy Birthday, Zach over and over back in the day, and it was the only Power Rangers VHS I owned. Do you have any memories from filming that episode?
I just recall not being in the episode very much. It opened up with like we didn't shoot in order, so I think it maybe took 2 or 3 days to shoot my scenes, and it took like 5 days for everybody else to work or something. Like I did one scene off in the canyon by myself where I had to fight Nasty Knight, and then I did the scene where I saw Kimberly and I was in the juice bar. And then my next scene was also in the juice bar. That was the party. So I only had a few scenes in that. And I didn't work a lot, although it was about my birthday. I was mostly about them hiding from me. So.
Yes. Wanda Santana wants to know, hello, Kat and Nakia. Hello, Walter. I enjoyed watching Once and Always. It brought me memories to when I was 13 years old in 1993. All right. Very nice.
Nostalgia.
Yes, for real. Lafayette Williams. Hey, Walter, I've seen Once and Always 20 times because it was awesome to see the cast from 30 years. And what did you think when they remade the intro at the end of the movie, Go Go Power Rangers?
Oh,
I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, yo, all right, I see what you're doing. All right, I see you put some of that in there, like
Yeah.
a number of the fans have also made their own versions of
Yes.
opening credits, and that's also been very cool to see.
yeah. Yeah.
Wanda Santana again. I watched Once and Always like 25 times already. I will watch it again soon. One day I will be like, I need to meet Walter, Kat, and Nakia.
Yes.
Yes.
One day should be today.
Ranger stopping.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Ben Hamilton. Sup, ladies?
Wow.
What it is, Zach Attack.
Right,
Since the
Can
beg-
I say something real quick? To
Yeah.
Ben?
Oh, yeah, please.
I'm looking at the super chat. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
Ben just gave $200 for the super chat.
Wow.
Oh, Ben, thank
Wow.
you.
Thank you for your donation. That is so. Thank you. Thank you to
Well-
all of the super chats. But I happened to see that one because it popped into my thank you. And he's one of our channel members too. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Walter's price just went up. Since the beginning, one thing puzzled me about you from your first morphin sequence to now, your missing finger. At first, I thought it was something cool, cool morph pose, that way you could stand out. It was until much later I realized it was really gone all along. Wow.
Oh my gosh, where did it go? I can't find it. It's here somewhere. So you can't see it. You can't see it.
Well, let me be honest here with you. That just blew my mind too, because I had no idea 30 years later.
Well, look at that. See,
Golly.
well, it's not something that everybody notices. I mean, like,
Right, yeah, I don't look for that
my
stuff.
hands are like, the hand is quicker than the eye. What?
That's so cool, bro. Damn it. I need to miss a finger. Ben Hamilton says, props to you keeping on that hip hop keto. Keep on dancing, Zack Attack.
Yes, sir.
Buffalo Dakita just sent in $4.99. So thank you for that super chat. Wanda again says, I would like to see a part 2 of Once and Always or a Zeo special just to make sure that Steve Rocky eats his food before fighting all these monsters.
Oh my gosh, yeah, him with his fireman outfit and his noodles. He
love
had
that.
so many things in his hands.
I know. He's like, hey, you get to eat my food. I was like,
Ryan-
Rocky's hungry.
Always. Ryan Truant says, I'm curious if you had an opinion on how, after season 2, they didn't again cast a black actor as a Black Ranger or Asian actor as a Yellow.
It did make a difference. It was coincidental in the first place. I thought, I mean, it didn't matter. It was like,
Correct. Yep.
I was proud to be the first Black superhero in a black costume. That made me happy. I'm from Detroit, so I was like, what up, dope?
Nice. Let's go. This one's a weird name, but it's a DNCMVMGBXBBCG says, hello, I love Power Rangers and you guys are good. There you go.
Thank
you
you.
so much for that. Thomas Franco, I heard Trini's death scene was supposed to be darker. And that's where that's the question. I guess they wrote it darker than what
It was a
in the
little
beginning?
bit. It was a little bit darker. They didn't. They showed it more, I think. Do you remember?
I don't remember. No.
It was a little bit darker. I think what they did was good. We didn't need to see too much. The fight scene was a little bit more intense.
I think Simon said that too. Simon Bennett, is that his
Bennett,
name?
yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned that it was supposed to be a little darker.
There was also a scene that was taken out, which was one of my favorite moments, but they took it out, and I just wonder if it's because it was too emotional. Where Trini, it was little Min watching Trini doing a kata, and it was in silhouette, and it was beautiful. But they took that out too, that scene. So I just wonder if that was just pushing it a little bit too much, maybe.
Yeah. Adam Wen says, hi, Walter. Just wanted to say I was sad you didn't get to fight with Johnny on Bosch in Once and Always, but hopefully in a future episode.
That would be cool.
They want to see you
I
fight,
love
man.
the style.
Yeah.
Ragos the Sky Dragon. Good evening, Ranger folks. In MMPR Season 1, when Pudgy Pig returns, how do you do that twist move you used after defeating the putties in the park?
You did like a
Oh, yeah.
like a snake twist.
Yeah, it's a body roll that's led from the head. Well, it started with the leg, went through the head to the body. So
You did some cool ass moves, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like, for real.
Yeah.
Kenya Padilla says, "Hello, Walter. How did it feel to wear the Black Ranger suit?" That one's a good question everyone likes to ask.
Yeah, well, it felt good. It always did. It's like, representing the Black Ranger. Let's go.
For sure. Realist Gaming, thank you, Walter, for being an inspiration to me. My first black superhero as a kid. Hope
Yeah.
to see you in the future PR episodes.
One never knows. We'll see.
He's hiding something, everyone. Kenneth Shaw, start your Twitter accounts now. Walter Jones and ASJ were the first two Power Rangers I met back in 2014 at Alamo City Comic Con. Any plans to make an appearance in the DFW anytime soon? I'd love to see you again. Dallas Fort Worth.
I think there's lots of opportunities for lots of stories to be told. We just got to see what happens.
Perfect.
Word.
Thomas Franco again wants to know, how did Zach and Billy get their powers back in this special?
How did Zach and Billy get the?
I don't think you
powers
guys
back?
ever lost it.
No.
Oh, because they passed their power coins on to other Rangers. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what they mean.
The proxy coins.
Right. There's that.
It's
There's a gap.
it's
It's
what
all right.
I always tell people is that there's different dimensions and there's different
Right.
stories for each dimension. And in this particular dimension, they never lost their powers.
Right.
That's what I like to
Like the Flash. There's
Like the Flash, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
And we're
Morphin
rocking
Grid
through
is a
these.
place that can. It happens at different times in different places within the Morphin Grid. So
Love that.
right. Exactly.
We got a couple here, and we'll wrap it up. Wanda Santana says one more time, "You guys are amazing." Thank you, Wanda, for that.
thank
Maybe
you
we
all.
should put Chanzo's questions together.
Yes,
three of
he
them.
has three of them. Yeah, Chanzo, that Johnny Young Bush hug meant everything to me. No word seeing that there's no bad blood and there's a respect all the way around. I don't have any questions. I'm just happy to see Zach here forever.
Aw.
Then he comes back and says, "Now I have a question. I knew that backflip was you in the putty fight. Did you know the last putty fight you had on the show before you left? You did the exact same flip. Thanks
I
for
did?
keeping it tight."
All right, that'll work.
Chanzo knows his stuff. I wouldn't argue
Yeah.
with him on that one.
Chanzo went back to the books, found it. And the last one by Chanzo, they turned Zach into an up-and-coming Obama. My best friend Nick and I said it makes perfect sense for Zach to be a congressman after the peace conference. What else did you want, Zach? Maybe Angela?
Angela. Oh
Yeah,
man.
Angela,
He
his
brought
old
Angela
flame.
up.
All right. It was like,
Zach would be a great president.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, we got like 6 left here. Barry Butler, hello, ladies and Walter. Oh my God, Walter, I remember you even from Brink and Power Rangers. I hope to meet you in the future. You are a blessing, so thank you. And he just wanted to know, how did you get into acting?
I got a scholarship to go to a college. I did one monologue for 20 colleges, got 3 scholarships, and I got a degree in musical theater. That started it all.
Mixed DJ Black Ranger 21 just says, "Hey Walter, I'm Matthias, a huge Black Ranger fan." Oh, Chanzel snuck in here again. I didn't see that. What's been the reaction you've received from fans? I've seen reviews. People have been shocked and love seeing Tanya captured. They were hype. You were there.
I was there.
Yeah, you were captured. That's right.
Yeah.
You made an appearance on the show.
Yes, it's water. They
I
were
need to put you in the credits.
She was wrapped in snakes.
Yeah.
Christopher Waden Holmes. Hi, Walter. I love the 2 different interpretations of the Black Ranger by you and Johnny Young Bosch. Do you think we will see a spin-off maybe one day with Johnny and Zach together?
Who knows? Lots of stories to be told.
I love that. Keyblade Master, favorite Black Ranger of all time. Love the hip hop keto. Saying hello from New York City. Question: and during season 2, was there potential planning of you switching suits to match the Sentai?
Yeah, I'm sure if I would have stayed on the show that I would move to Zeo, switch Zords, switch suits. They had to go along with how much footage they have from each season of the Japanese show.
Very nice. Malik, Zach had the best fashion on the show. All of the Rangers wore colors consistent to their powers, but Zach wore bright colors. Was this your
I
choice?
always have black within the colors. Like
Yeah.
black was always like just like this. It's like it's a black shirt, but it's got color. So everything goes good with black.
For
Yeah.
sure. He also said, or they also said, And also, Nakia, when is it you and Blake's turn to return? We need Tanya and Justin kicking butt again. Excuse my language.
Hey,
That would be great. Who knows? Who knows? Why don't we just one more? Because
Sure.
yeah.
Oh yeah, 6:53. Okay. This one's from KT Core. Walter, did you ever get to hear how your morph scenes were voiced over after you left? Also, I can't express to you guys, Nikki and Catherine too, how much you've all influenced my life. Much love.
Oh, thank you.
I think I recall hearing it and just turning it off. Whatever, but I didn't. I never focused on it.
Yeah.
Very nice. And does
just want to give a shout out to those that we didn't get to. Bolton Biggs, who's one of our channel members, really loved you, Walter, and Christopher, one of our channel members, who said she just wanted to send us money. Sandrock, Red Blue Steel Cosplay, Hero of Light. Thank you all and Tim and Tom. Thank you all for your super chats. Can we ring that drum bell? Last two.
All right. Who's first?
You can go first.
All right. If there was a zombie apocalypse, how long would you last?
Is this for me?
Yeah.
Oh.
We do silly questions at the end.
Okay, I'm going ham. I'm a survivor, so let's go.
Yeah, you think you could bring it in a zombie apocalypse?
I think it's gonna bring out a whole different side of me.
I think you could take down some heads with some of those hip hop keto moves.
I'm gonna pull out the power axe and let's go. You know.
Oh yeah, the power axe.
Wow.
Don't mess with the mastodon.
All right, and the last question of the evening: would you rather drive an ice cream truck to work or come dressed as a clown, and why?
I think I would rather.
They work at Power Rangers playback. You're working at Power Rangers playback. You're working at Power Rangers. You're going to set, and you have
I'm calling an ice cream truck.
Why?
Because I'm always gonna have goodies that people are gonna be happy to come and hang out with me in my truck. I can pass it out to people like it's a giving place, and I can be myself while I'm at work. It's just my transportation. So
yeah.
Yes, I love it.
Wow, Walter, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you guys. I'm so proud of you guys with this channel. Thank you for creating it for the fans and giving them lots of insight to our whole family and the whole genre of what we've been building for 30 years. And I'm happy to be here with you guys. So thank you.
One thing before you go, can you just share a little bit about what you have coming up or any appearances you have and what you had shared with me earlier about your music possibly?
Yes. I'm going to be bouncing around. I got a lot of different appearances coming up, including Ranger Stop in Atlanta. I'm excited about that. And Ranger Stop and Pop in Atlanta, Ranger Stop in Orlando, a number of other places, Salt Lake City, so forth. Check out my Instagram, Walter E. Jones, for more information. And I got a music project coming out. It's going to be under the name Trey Emanuel. I'll explain the name later. But Trey Emanuel, I got 6 songs right now that I'm going to be releasing. Looking to build 3 more songs. I'm trying to extend it. Extended play. I'm excited about it. I want you guys to be excited about it. And I think you're going to enjoy it. It's rap and house music.
Woo!
Awesome.
I love that. Well, without further ado, Mr. Walter Jones, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Walter. We love you.
Love you too.
Thank you.
All right, take care, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God. I love Walter. Love him. So blessed.
Great. So great. He, even if we didn't get to all your questions, I think he gave a really good explanation and insight into Once and Always and his character. And so I hope you guys feel fulfilled with all of that he shared and his wisdom. So thank you for tuning in today. And thank you, Alex, for your help.
Alex. Alex. Thank you. You were reading
Love you
like a
both.
demon. You were like reading so fast. And
I
thank you.
thought I was gonna mess up. I was nervous. I'm around it's people that I adore and I've watched since I was a kid, so I was like sweating. And if I get up, I'm gonna need a shower, all that good stuff. So I'm like, don't mess this up in front of them, you idiot.
You did great.
You
You did great.
Thank you.
Well, where can you find us? Where are we going to be this month? I'll be at MomoCon. MomoCon the May 20th weekend. I'll be there with Karen Ashley. We're going to be promoting our show, Ranger Stop and Pop, which will be in June. And then the first week of June.
First week of June will be in Bentonville, Arkansas at Bentonville Con, followed by, it's just a one-day con. And then on the Sunday, we're going to be at Wizards Asylum in Tulsa, Oklahoma from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. So you can come and meet us there. They have a beautiful store, lots of fun things to buy. But we'll be signing there for 3 hours and look forward to meeting all of you in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Can I throw in one more thing?
Yes.
In 30 minutes, we'll be going live on the Ranger Stop and Pop channel with Christina Masterson from Power Rangers Megaforce. So if you guys are here watching right now and you want to continue having some fun with us, then meet us over there as well.
Perfect.
Yes, tune in. It's going to be fun. Alex will be interviewing her, and she's just such a lovely human being. So
She is. She's very sweet. Our little Pink Ranger sister.
yes. All right, guys. Until next time. See you then.
See you soon. Bye.